All right, welcome to Yin Yoga today. Let's find a comfortable seat. Beautiful sunny day. Make sure that you are comfortable, maybe sitting on a block or sitting on a pillow, and taking a moment to arrive in your body, in your place, in your mind, in your heart, and just softening. So Yin Yoga always is the invitation to receive, to allow, to accept. And in order to be able to receive, we first need to let go. Need to let go maybe of stories, thoughts, tension, physical tension in the body. So as you're scanning, notice if there's anything that you're holding that you can melt away. Maybe lift the corners of your mouth into a little smile. I feel that always really softens my experience, my body. And feel how the shoulders are melting down and away from the ears a little bit more with each exhale. And if you want, you can even do the exhales a little bit longer than the inhalation. So, summertime is in the Chinese medicine always related to the energy of the heart. The heart stands for joy. So, some of the poses we'll be doing today will be inviting you to nourish the heart. But then, of course, we always want a little bit of balance. So, we'll also do some beautiful poses for the lower back and the hips. Most important is that you connect to your breathing and that you allow the breath to breathe you. So there's really this sweetness, this softness of not really doing much and just receiving and allowing. So right now to just receive the breath, nice big inhalation, nice gentle soft exhalation. If you feel there's tension in your face, you can even use your fingers, massage a little bit around the jaw. It's a place we hold a lot of tension, and as you might know, the jaw is the same structure like the hips, so often they are related. Like if you're somebody who's grinding teeth or has a lot of tension in the jaw, most likely you'll have quite some tension in the hips too. It's very interesting always how everything is connected. So giving yourself a little moment here to arrive, connect, feel, and breathe. And bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Take a moment also to feel the warmth of your palms meeting, the center of your body, and your thumbs touching to your chest. And take a nice inhale, exhale through the mouth. And let's inhale again for a sound of Om. Nice big breath. And slowly release your hands, gently open your eyes. So for props today, I recommend to have some pillows or blocks. You probably have them. For the first pose, use a pillow if you like it a little bit softer, or a block, and place your hips on top of the pillow, straighten your legs, and then come to lie back. Lift one shoulder, tuck the shoulder blade a little closer, and then do the same with the other. Feet are falling out to the side. Now, if this feels too much on your lower back, if your lower back is very sensitive, then you can also do the pose with the knees together and the feet on the floor. You'll still get a very gentle back bend, and this is just a really nice pose to get you into breathing into your chest. So really feel like your upper body is expanding on the inhale. You're drawing the breath up into the chest. And then as you exhale, it's like you're melting down into the earth. And so really feel this nice rhythm of inhaling, expansion, receiving, and exhaling, softening and letting go. If you choose to do the variation with the legs long, you will get a little bit more of a stretch also in front of your hips, your hip flexors. But again, you really do not want to feel any tension in the lower back. Maybe just a very mild sensation. So Yin Yoga is also very much about learning the language of your body. When is something too much? When is something too little? And you just stay connected to the sound of your breathing. And about 2 more minutes to go here. Remember, this practice is also always an invitation to just observe the mind, the busyness of the mind. And when you catch yourself thinking like in meditation, you'll come back to the sensations in your body to stay focused on the present moment. What's alive in you? How does your body feel? How does your heart feel? And so this constant practice of being drifting away, catching yourself, awareness, bringing you back to center, drifting away, catching yourself, and bringing yourself back to center. You feel your own calm, soothing energy. Maybe there's a sense of, oh, I could fall asleep now. And if that happens, allow it to happen. But if you can catch yourself before, then please do. I kind of want to be in this place in between. Conscious awareness. 3 more breaths. And slowly sliding your feet back if your knees have not been bent yet. And then from here, very gently, just rocking a little bit side to side. And then coming onto the right side, pushing yourself up to seated, just so that you can adjust your props a little bit here. So now you can have, a bolster if you have. I don't have a bolster, so I'm going to use pillows, and you can put 2 pillows on top of each other. And what we're going to do is the yin variation of fish pose. So Legs are straight, feet are falling out to the side, and you're going to come to lie back. Now, as you can see, my head goes lower like in fish pose, which opens the throat. If this feels too much for you because the head has a lot of weight, then you feel free to place a block underneath for support so that the head stays in line with the chest. So that is totally fine. You want to bring the arms out to the side, and the same here. If you feel it's too much on your back, then you can just bend the knees and place the feet down and let the knees fall together. So there's always an option to modify. So in this pose, we are really opening the chest a little bit more. So feel these beautiful, gentle breath coming in, expanding into your heart. And there's a really nice, calm, long exhalation. So really tap into your ability, your capacity to receive. How much can you take? Sometimes we even feel we can't take it, it's too much, in a good way as much as in a bad way. Sometimes even love feels too much or attention feels too much, and it's the practice of learning to receive. And maybe tap into the sense of yumminess that this pose brings. I find it a really delicious pose. I just love this chest opening that is gentle, where it feels like the body just drapes around the pillows and the ribs are just melting. But of course, we're all different, so just stay present with how it feels in your body. Two more minutes. So really allow yourself to sink deep. If at any time you feel like exhaling through the mouth, feels really yummy to do that. So then you can just like really push the breath out like so. Even a couple times if you feel like. And then take your last 3 breaths here. And then slowly bend the knees. Walk your feet back for a moment. Let the knees fall together. Place your hands onto the ribs. Take a moment here, just feeling the energy, front body so sweet and open. There's also a vulnerability on lying back like this because your belly is exposed, your heart is exposed, your throat is exposed. So those are like our communication centers and probably some of the really sensitive parts in the body. Roll over onto your right side now. And again, take the props out to the side. Good. All of them. And come onto your hands and knees. And let's take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So as you inhale, just to neutralize, let the belly drop, stick your butt back. And as you exhale, draw the navel in and round. And again, inhaling, arching. So this is a little bit more dynamic and yang. If you feel instead you want to do like a figure 8 or circles, then for sure, just do it. Go ahead, it's no problem. This is your practice, and you're learning to tap into the needs and desires of your body. Good. And then finish your round. Come back to the middle into a tabletop, and then from here, take it back into child's pose for a moment. Let your arms rest next to your body. Knees are really nice and wide, so your chest and your belly can melt between the thighs. Now, if your back was a little sensitive, this also gives you the opportunity to release into the lower back and to take a few rounds of really nice deep breath. So we'll be here maybe about 2 minutes or so. Let the shoulders drape and relax. And so what's beautiful about yin is that it shows us sometimes like simplifying or just having less is more, because in all the busyness we can't really feel the sweetness, even the sweetness of our own sensations and thoughts and stories. So here's your opportunity to just listen. All right, slowly slide your hands to the middle. Come all the way up and place a pillow. So different options. You can place a pillow underneath your hip bone, which I really like because sometimes it's really uncomfortable to have your hip bone on the floor. But what you could also do is place the pillow underneath your chest, and then that feels really nice too to support the ribs. So maybe play with it and see what actually feels right for you today as we're coming into Sphinx pose. So the elbows underneath the shoulders. If that feels too intense on the lower back, you can always melt a little bit forward and bring the elbows a little bit more forward so it's less contraction and compression on the lower back. If you feel rather that you could really go further and open up more, that's also an option. You can come into seer with your arms straight and your palms a little bit wider. So I'm going to stay here today in Sphinx with the elbows underneath my shoulders. This feels beautiful and right. And then close the eyes and enjoy the practice. You could have your eyes open, but it's really nice to close the eyes because we're really withdrawing from all the impulses, the visual distractions when the eyes are open. Now, with the eyes closed, you can still focus on the images you see behind the closed eyelids. If you're a visual person, this can sometimes help you in a yin yoga pose. Or you can stay with your breath and the sensations of your breath. Listen to your own rhythm of breath. Inhaling, receiving, exhaling, releasing thoughts, stories, tension, stress, worries. A little bit over a minute left. Your thoughts are traveling. Bring them back to this beautiful moment. It is really challenging to receive from others. We don't even allow ourselves to receive from ourselves. So I find that is an interesting relationship to observe. Your relationship with receiving. Are you somebody who much easier gives all the time, doesn't really allow himself, herself to receive, to take? What is your relationship to that? 3 more breaths here. Good. And then slowly release. Press into your hands. Come back onto your hands and knees. If you were using a pillow, take it out to the side. And once again, just let your belly drop. And exhale to release. And again. And exhale. And again. And exhale, release and come to sit. And sit to the right of your legs, and you have your feet just crossing on the left side. Good. And then very gently bring your right fingertips behind and your left hand outside of the right knee and go for a really, really mild twist here. And you can lean your head back. Focus on breathing into the right ribs. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And then release and walk your hands over to the side. Good. Come up, switch. Let your feet fall over to the right as you sit to the left side. And then bring your left fingertips behind and your right hand just gently. It's not a dynamic pose, so we're just gently twisting and looking over the left shoulder. Not even stretching the neck too much, so really feel that it's gentle on the neck. Two more breaths. And then slowly releasing, hands over to the other side. Good. And then come to lie on your back. And for a moment, hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little bit back and forth, massaging, rocking. Bring your feet up into a happy baby pose. Grab the outside of the feet. Rock a little bit side to side. And then stay here, breathing. There's a gentle pull, nothing crazy. It's more like you feel like at some point the shoulders relax, face is soft, and gravity is doing the job more than you actively pulling on the feet. And if it feels too active, you can also just bring your arms behind and relax here and let the legs close. It will still help to release the lower back. Let's do 3 more breaths here. Good, and then release and bring your right foot above your left knee. So instead of swan, we're going to do the modification today because it's such a delicious release for the lower back. And you can either interlace your hands behind your left thigh or in front of your left shin. Flex your right foot a little bit and see how my back wants to round. So lengthen the spine towards the floor. You want to feel the stretch in the outer right hip. And to intensify the stretch, you roll over a little bit to the left. And so this is called the figure 4 or thread the needle. And it's really one of the best stretches to do. Anytime you feel your back is a little sore, you've been sitting a lot after a long flight. So anytime that you feel there's a little bit of compression in the lower back and that goes also into the outer hip, this is your pose. Breathing deeply. And we're going to hold it for 3 minutes. So really, really breathing into the sensation on the right cheek. think of it maybe as sweet pain. That's what I always did. It's a tough pose, but it's kind of the pain I can handle. It doesn't feel like a sharp pain. And as a reminder for you, if you ever feel a sharp pain, then it's a clear sign to change position. Or if your legs or arms fall asleep, it's the same. So stay present. Notice if maybe you can roll even more to the left, intensifying the pose for the last minute or so. Drop into the meditative qualities of your breath. Good. And then take 3 more breaths on this side. Slowly release. Place the feet down. Notice the sensation when you release in the right hip. And gently move your knees side to side. Great. Coming back to the middle, bring your left foot above the right knee. Draw the knee towards your chest. Once again, either hold on behind the thigh or in front of the shin. This is my tighter side, so I don't know how it is for you, but explore. And as you draw the knee in, try also to relax the face and the shoulders and roll a little bit more over to the right to intensify the pose. So again, really great pose after a long day of sitting. Great pose to do before going to bed. It's one of the poses I very often do in the morning before I get up or in the evening. It always works. It's really nice to breathe deeply into the belly and down into the pelvis for this pose. So try that. Inhaling, expanding, receiving, exhaling, letting go, softening. Always the same principle. The dance of the universe, there's a name for it called spanda. It's the expansion and the contraction. Happens with the stars all the time. Good. Last minute on the side. Stay with it. Notice if you're getting restless. Notice if your mind is traveling. Bring it back when you catch yourself. staying present, staying aware. So often a yin yoga practice leaves me really rejuvenated and energized, and sometimes I can tell that like a yin yoga practice, like my body's desire of like really letting go and resting. So it's nice to drop into that energy too. What is your body feeling right now? Are you more into like, oh, so good to rest? Or are you feeling like, oh, it feels so good to charge my batteries? So it's just interesting to keep checking in. Last breath here. Slowly release the left foot. Place your feet to the floor and move your knees a little bit left and right, right and left. Good. Lift your legs all the way up into the sky and shake them out for a moment. Good. All right, from here, let's come into Banana Asana because it'll be nice after working with the back and the outer hip. It's going to be nice to go again into the front of the hip and the thigh. So move your body to the left, move your legs to the right, cross your left ankle on top of the right if you can. And then start by holding onto your elbows and moving your upper body over to the right. And if this is enough and you feel a really good stretch into the left front of your body, stay here. If you want more, you can also take a hold of your left wrist and then pull a little bit more on the left wrist to also stretch a bit deeper into the left side. And you could also place, you see how my arm is pretty high in the sky. So then it might be really nice to have a block underneath my arm. The head is turning also to the right. You want to feel only stretching on the front side of the body, not in the lower back. So we're not turning to the right. We have both cheeks on the floor. Banana Asana. This pose nourishes the gallbladder meridian, which is helpful when we have to make decisions. Nice deep breathing. Exhaling through the mouth when needed. And just feeling how the floor receives you with every exhale. If there's any place in your body where you feel you're still holding, maybe the eyes, maybe again the jaw, or the shoulders. Really consciously let go, drop deeper, release. 2 more minutes here. Noticing the flow of your breath without you really doing anything about it. This little dance of inhale and exhale. Notice the flow of your thoughts without you holding on to any of them. Notice what kind of visuals are coming up for you behind your closed eyes. Last minute here. Maybe for this last minute, really focus on that long line, front long line, left side of the body, and feel it with your breath and feel how the sensation gets a little bit more intense in a good way as you breathe deeply. Last 3 breaths here. And to release first, release your arms and then your legs and just lie like a starfish, stretching everything out. And then slowly moving over to the other side, hips over to the right side of the mat. Left foot to the left corner, right foot crosses on top. Take a hold of your elbows. Start to move your upper body over to the left without rolling onto the side. If it feels okay on your arm, on your shoulder, take a hold of the right wrist and pull gently on the arm. And if you want, place a block here as a support. So again, if your arm ever falls asleep or starts tingling too much, then back off a little bit. Same for your legs. You always want to make sure that you have a good blood flow. Eyes closed, enjoy, release, breathe. One more minute to go. Once again, really focus on the line of energy along the right side of the body, front body. Feel it with your deepest breathing. If you're a visual person, it's also nice to really visualize the flow of energy, the flow of breath, the flow of nourishment. Maybe you can even feel a sensation or tingling or a vibrancy. And then take your last 3 breaths. When you finish, slowly release first your arms and then your legs. Once again, come into this starfish pose, just stretching out, relaxing, feeling the echo of the pose, the release. I find banana asana is sometimes a pose where we don't feel so much when we're in it, and then when we release it, there's this like rush of energy flow. And then bend the knees, hug the knees into your chest. We're going to do a nice, easy twist. So rocking a little bit back and forth, releasing any tension, taking the arms out to the side. Inhale as you exhale. Knees to the right, head to the left. Breathing into the lower back, kidney area, but also into this yummy stretch again at the front of the chest. Remember, we also really wanted to drop into the heart, the energy of summer, the energy of joy, connection. We're finally out again, meeting people. It creates joy when we feel connected. And then inhale, bringing the knees back up. Exhale, let them fall over to the left. Turn your head to the right. If this twist feels too much, you can place a pillow between your knees. Always feels delicious. With your head, you can either look up or turn to the side. And then coming back to the middle. Rock a couple times back and forth, and then come all the way up to seated. And have your feet together for butterfly pose. And so the option could be to place blocks here underneath to support your legs as you fold forward. Or also really nice, have a bolster or pillows in front of you, and then you can fold forward and rest here. So anything that feels good. Definitely have a way of supporting your head. So explore that and breathe deeply. This gives you a nice way of breathing into the back of your heart, of your lungs. Really nice to exhale through the mouth here. Also, an option is the Brahmari bee breath, the humming breath, if that feels inspiring to you. It's always nice when we do forward folds because it stimulates the throat and you can feel the vibration so nicely. Last 30 seconds. When you feel how the chest is melting. And then slowly release. Come all the way back up. Remove the props out of the way. And slowly stretch your legs and shake them out. Use your hands and give a little wake up to your hips, thighs, inner thighs. Good. And then come to lie on your back for Shavasana. And I also highly recommend using something underneath your knees, being really, really comfortable and just allowing yourself to fully relax. Lift your shoulder, tap one shoulder blade underneath and then the other one. Palms facing up. Relax, breathe. Eyes are melting back into the sockets. One more big breath in, exhale through the mouth. Enjoy. And slowly begin to deepen your breathing. Gently moving your fingers, your toes, and stretching your arms over your head. And hugging the knees into your chest, really very gentle, sweet movements, rocking back and forth, rocking side to side. And then coming to rest on your favorite side, ideally your left side, the yin side, or whatever feels good. And then find your way back up into a nice comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed, noticing how balanced and grounded, maybe a little bit more calm you're feeling, or whatever else is present for you, the effects of this practice. Keep the natural curve of your spine and feel this flow of breath coming in and going out. As you inhale, you're receiving. As you're exhaling, you're letting go, releasing. And bring your hands together in front of your heart for a moment of gratitude to yourself for showing up today to practice and charging your batteries, holding space for yourself to integrate and to process. Let's close and seal our practice with one last sound of Om. Om. And thank you so much. Wishing you really joyful, beautiful summer and a very relaxed rest of your day. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.